We made the decision a few years ago to get rid of our lawn. It was a risky decision seeing that we do live in an HOA, but it's a decision that I'm glad that we made. Over the years, we have grown food and beautiful flowers in my front yard, food that benefits us and beautiful flowers for us to look at, but most importantly for our pollinator friends. This year, since I came back from Tennessee, I have not felt as motivated to get my garden going, but I refuse to let my front yard return to being a lawn. So I decided to focus on one side of my yard to fill it in with some seedlings I had. I gave myself 4 days to complete this task. Back in March, before I went away, I planted a few vegetables in my front yard. They have grown so much and they have started feeding us, which I'm thankful for. As I look at them, I wanted to plant a few more vegetables, which I plan on surrounding with flowers at a later time, but this week I just wanted to focus on food. My front yard usually grows most of the excess plants that I have, plants that did not fit in my greenhouse or in my backyard. I have a few canary bell peppers, eggplants, and basil, which I planted in the first few rows. I had to remove some of the wood chips that was in the front. It was too thick for my liking. I'm happy I did wood chip the yard because I would have had a lot of weed competition. And just like that, I was on day 2. As soon as I finished homeschooling my children, I came straight to the garden. I started alyssum from seed and I wanted to add a few to my front yard. This is my first time growing this flower and I'm excited. One of the more exciting things for us to grow is watermelon. This is a sugar baby watermelon, which is excellent for small spaces. I don't have all the space to grow every single watermelon that I would love to grow. So Sugar Baby is actually excellent for smaller spaces, and this is a bush variety. So this is my first time trying a bush variety of Sugar Baby watermelon. I love to grow watermelon because it is so healthy, it's hydrating, and it's really great for summertime. I know that there are a lot of press going around about watermelon and so forth, about the store-bought watermelon. I do not know about that because I only buy watermelon from one source, and that's only when it's in season in the summertime. Otherwise, I do not buy watermelon. I put my watermelon in the ground. I know it hasn't have all its leaves as of yet, but that's fine because I don't usually like to wait until the watermelon plant gets too mature before I transplant them. This year, I decided to try to grow a few tomatoes in my front yard. Roma tomatoes normally do really well in my front yard, but for some reason, the other varieties don't do so good. So I'm still going to try a few this year in a row, and in front of those tomatoes, I am growing pepper plants. These are just a mix-up of different pepper plants that I had left over. So some of them are jalapenos and some are some other sweet bell pepper. I think, I don't remember exactly what they are. because I lost some of my labels for what my pepper plants are. I also forgot to mention that my front yard is actually on a hill or a slope. And even though it's on a slope, it has been very successful with growing this food. So if your yard is on a slope, you can try, experiment, and see if you will be able to grow some food in your yard, in your front yard, because I know this is something that I was intimidated by. Day 3, and we've made it to the top. This project took a lot less time than I thought it would. And this day was after a date day with my husband. I told him what I was planning to do, and I wanted to do our date in the daytime instead of going on a date at night because I felt like I wouldn't have enough time to get to the garden. And I am so happy that I was able to still come home and get this done. So I have moringa plants that I started since too long ago, and they are outgrown, overgrown, and they felt like they were getting sick, and I didn't like the way that they were looking, and I had to get them planted in the ground. My plan was to plant these moringa plants in Tennessee, and I did not get a chance to do that since I'm not going back till maybe, I don't know when, maybe July, August, something. And so I was able to plant some of them here. This will be an experiment for me. I've never gardened this far back in my front yard. Usually this space is left blank, and I am a little bit worried, to be honest, because the previous owners of this home, which was probably over 20 years ago, had stones here. It was probably a stone garden or a stone something, and so there are lots of stones here, and I'm a little bit worried about it, but I think they should be fine. It's not overwhelmingly like a lot of stones, but I did see a lot of stones when I was digging. So in this section, I decided to plant the moringas in the back. And in front of the moringas, I planted pepper plants. And these are all pepper plants from peppers that I bought, just pepper plants I wanted to experiment with. And in front of that, I planted basil and zucchini. And by seed, I am also going to plant some dill. I'm a little bit late to planting my dill, but I still planted it anyway. And I'm just praying that we get lots of rain because the rain has been very stingy this time of year. We barely got rain. It has not been raining as much as I would like, but that's okay. The plants are still doing great. And so I am happy that I accomplished planting everything that I wanted to in 3 days instead of 4. It was supposed to be 4 days, but I actually finished a lot faster than I thought I would. So that's exciting, and I cannot wait for this garden to grow in. Right now, everything is still very tiny and small and not mature as of yet.